Assalāmu Alaikum wa Raḥmatullāhi wa Barakātuh. This is Sazzad, inshallah, from the Dārul Qur Sydney. So we're discussing about some of the important figures of Tajwi and Qira'at. Today is our second lecture on that. Inshallah, today we'll elaborate some description about the Imam Sibawayh, Imam Hafs ibn Sulaiman, and Imam Farra, inshallah. Okay, let's start. اللهم صل على محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Imam Sibawayh, he was one of the students of Imam Khalil ibn al-Farahidi. His full name was Imam Amr ibn Uthman ibn
It's 10 o'clock.
He was born in 143 after Hijri, which is the 176 AD. Okay. His nickname was Sibawayh, which is a Persian word which means the sweet fragrance of an apple, because he had a very fat, round cheeks which looked like apples. Subhanallah. One day his teacher, the Muhaddith Hamad ibn Salama ibn Dinar, corrected a grammatical error of his. Okay, so to his he replied that he would study the Arabic language until he would never err in Arabic again. Subhanallah. What a zeal for knowledge, This is when he went to study under the Imam Khalil ibn al-Farahid until he eventually became an Imam in the Arabic language. Subhanallah. The determination. He also wrote a book on the Arabic named Al-Kitab. I do have this book, which is based on much of what he gained from Imam Khalil ibn al-Farahidi. Imam Sibawayh also transmitted the Qira'at from the Imam of the Qur'an that during his time, like the Abu Amr al-Basri. The 10th century biographers Ibn al-Nadim and Abu Bakr al-Zubaydi, and in the 13th century Imam Khali Khan attributed Sibawayh with contributions to the science of the Arabic language and linguistics, that were unsurpassed by those of an earlier and later times. He has been called the greatest of an Arabic linguist, and one of the greatest linguists of all time in any language, Subhanallah. In a story from the debate held by the Abbasid period, during the time Yahya bin Khalid of Baghdad on standard Arabic usage, Sibawayh representing the Basran school of grammar, and Imam al-Kisai, there is another great Imam, one of the canonical Quran readers, and the leading figures in the rival school of Kufa at that time. They had a dispute, on the following point of the grammar, which later became known as the Al-Mas'ala al-Zamburiyya, meaning al-mas'ala of the question of the hornet. Al-Kisai ushered in 4 Bedouin who had happened to be waiting near the door and who Al-Kisai had bribed earlier on. Subhanallah. Each testified that فَإِذَا هُوَ إِيَّاهَا, Al-Kisai's argument was the proper usage, and so Sibawayh's argument was that فَإِذَا هُوَ هِيَ was just incorrect. After this, Imam Sibawayh left the court and was said to have returned in indignation to Shiraz, where he died soon, apparently either from upset or illness, probably. Allah alam. Students of Sibawayh's Al-Akhfash al-Asghar, there was another one, Al-Akhfash al-Akbar too, is said to have challenged Al-Kisai after his teacher's death, asking him 100 questions on grammar, proving all Kisai's answers were wrong each time. Subhanallah al-Azim. Forget about the Imam Sibawayh, his student, proved Al-Kisai wrong. When the student revealed who he was and what had happened, Al-Kisai approached the Khalif Harun al-Rashid at that time and requested punishment from him, knowing he had a the share in killing Sibawayh. Subhanallah, they're so great people at that time. The another important anecdote is that when the Imam Al-Kisai died, it was found that Imam Sibawayh's Al-Kitab underneath of his pillow. Subhanallah. Okay, now let's discuss about one of the greatest Imam in the Qira'at that we follow these days, Imam Hafs ibn al-Sulaymani. He died in 180 after Hijri. His full name is Abu Amr Hafs ibn Sulayman ibn al-Mughira ibn al-Abi Dawud al-Asadi al-Kufi. Subhanallah, better known as Hafs. It's easier to remember. He was born in 90 after Hijri, which is the 706 you can call the 709 Christian era, like our time, like 2021 update, like that. So it's 90 after Hijri, okay, and is a significant figure in the art of the Quranic reading and the variant recitation. Subhanallah. Being one of the primary transmitters of one of the 7 canonical methods of the Quran recitation, you can say the 10 canonical recitations, Imam Hafs' method via his teacher Imam Asib ibn Abi al-Najud, who died in 127 after Hijri or 120 after Hijri, has become the most popular method across much of the Muslim world. Imam Asim read the Quran directly from the Abu Abdurrahman as-Sulami, who died in 74 after Hijri, subhanallah, who had read directly from the Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, who died in 40 after Hijri, the 4th Khalif, who was taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam directly. Imam Abu Hanifa read Qira'at to Imam Asim too. Imam Asim was also the teacher of the Sulaiman ibn Mihran al-A'mash, another great Qur'an of the, we still do have the, I do have the ijazah from his recitation as well. That's the 4 extra readings. Some people say the Shaz reading. I don't really say so. So Imam A'mash also read to Imam al-Asim. Abu Amr al-Basri, Khalil ibn al-Farahidi, Hamza, Kisai, Sufyan al-Thawri, Sufyan ibn Uwayn, etc., etc., a lot of them. So they all actually read under Imam Asim. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who died in 241 after Hijri, the Hanbali school, which is after his name, the Hanbali school, was asked by his son, which reading is most beloved to you? Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah radiallahu anhu replied, the reading of the people of Medina, definitely. And if not, then the reading of Asim. Asim became ill for a period of 2 years, after which he recovered. He mentions that, upon his recovery, he recited the entire Quran without any error. Subhanallah. He was also blind. Allahu Akbar. See? There's zeal for the Quran. Imam Hafs was the stepson of the Imam Asim. After the Imam Asim married Hafs' mother, he read the entire Quran countless times to his mentor, Imam Asim. Many scholars state that Hafs is the most accurate transmitter of the Imam Asim's Qira'ah. Hafs settled in both Baghdad and later, he migrated to Mecca until his demise. During his stay in both these places, many learned from Qira'at, or the read Quran to Imam Hafs, which he transmitted from his teacher Asim, obviously. He was trustworthy in what he transmitted reading the Quran, but is considered a weak transmitter in Hadith. Whatever, we're not talking about the Hadith. Eventually, Hafs' recitation of Al-Najud's method, meaning his Ustadh, his mentor, Imam Asim's method, was made the official method of the Egypt, having been formally adopted as the standard Egyptian printing of the Qur'an under the auspices of Fuad the first of the Egypt in 1923. Okay. It is related from Hafs that he said, I said to Imam Asim that Abu Bakr ibn Ayyash, which is also known as Shu'bah, the transmitter of the Imam Asim's Qira'at, Hafs asked Imam Asim that Shu'bah recites in a manner different from the one you taught me. Whereupon Imam Asim replied, I recited to you the very recitation that Abu Abdurrahman as-Sulami directly recited to me face to face, which he in turn had learned directly face to face from Imam the Ali radiallahu anhu. Yet I recited to Shu'bah the very recitation that Zir ibn Hubaysh al-Asadi directly recited to face, which he in turn had learned directly face to face from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. Subhanallah, both of them are authentic chains. Hafs also mentions that if one recited to Asim, he would extend his hand and count the verses. He also relates that he never differed in anything that he gained from Imam Asim, except the word Du'af in the Surah Al-Rum, verse number 54, that he had read with the Dhamma, while Asim taught him with the Fath. All right. So there is an ikhtilaf, in the different turuqs of the Imam Asim, the Hafs. So he is mentioning one of these here. So Hisham al-Rifai said Hafs was the best among the companions of the Asim in mastering Asim's recitation, where he excelled Shu'bah with regards to his mastery of producing the letters precisely. SubhanAllah, they used to read so precisely. Each and every letter has been pronounced precisely. Imam Dhahabi said, with regards to the recitation, he is the trustworthy, firm authority. He's talking with Imam Hafs. Amr ibn Sabbah and Ubayd ibn al-Sabbah were the two of the Hafs popular students. I do have the recitation of the Ubayd ibn al-Sabbah through his chain, and also the Amr ibn al-Sabbah as well. So Imam Hafs died in 180 after Hijri in Mecca. Now let's talk about the Imam Farah. We don't have much information regarding his biography. So he died on 207 after Hijri. His full name was Abu Zakaria Yahya ibn Ziyad rahimahullah, best known as Al-Farrah. He was born in 143 after Hijri, which is 760 Christian Rasi'i. After the demise of his teacher Al-Kisai, he's the student of Al-Kisai. Remember the Kisai in the Sibawayh thing? Alright. Al-Kisai, he became the Imam of the Arabic grammar in Kufa at that time. Remember, the Sibawayh was the Basrani school, the Kisai was the Kufani school. He was one of the outstanding Islamic principal and exceedingly pious, very pious. This great grammarian benefited much from the Sibawayh's book. Subhanallah, the other way around. In addition to authoring the many works concerning the Arabic language and Arabic usage in the Qur'an. He also transmits the Qira'at from his teacher Imam al-Kisai and the Shu'bah, the other transmitter of the Imam Asim. His biographer Ibn Khalikan calls him the most eminent of all the doctors of Kufa, and also the most distinguished by his knowledge of grammar, philology, and the various branches of literature. Imam al-Farrah gained admittance to the palace of the Imam Khalif, who is that? Al-Mamun al-Rashid, and tutored his two princes the correct use of Arabic grammar. He established a reputation as a linguist scholar who had few equals at that time. One of his peers said to him, were it not for Al-Farrah, pure Arabic would no longer exist. It was he who disengaged it from the ordinary language and fixed it by writing. He lived for 63 years and died in 207 after Hijri. Subhanallah, such a great scholar, these three of them. But, they don't have any, you might think that they are the rival school, but they actually was, that they were the teacher and the students of each other. If they feel like going to one school, they also go to the other school to study under their rival, you can say. Subhanallah. So that's it for today, inshallah. We'll continue there with a few more, maybe another 2 or 3 episodes, inshallah, regarding the great personalities of the Tajweed and Qira'at, inshallah. So till then, Assalāmu Alaikum, make dua for us, inshallah. Subscribe to our channel for the great videos to come. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.